Hi everybody. I don't know what happened there. I just saw on my computer that the live stream was interrupted. It said there was an error, like an out of memory error. That's really weird. I've never had that happen. Hopefully we're back. I'm just gonna see if I can see if it's live again. Okay, it looks like I'm live again. Hang on a sec. All right. I think I'm live again. Hopefully everybody can join back in. That was weird. Let me just fix my machine. Hi Shannon. Did it stop the live stream? Did it stop? Because like my phone said it was still streaming, but on my machine I couldn't see like the live stream at all on Facebook. So I don't know what happened. So I decided I would just stop the streaming on my phone and then restart it. So I'm not sure what happened there. Hopefully everybody will join in. Oh, it didn't stop. Okay, that's so weird because I couldn't see the stream on the on Facebook. So weird. Okay, well hopefully everybody will join back in. Okay, so I'm gonna finish fussy cutting while we wait for everybody to join back in. They don't have to watch me fussy cut the rest of this flower. Say hi if you're back. I don't know what happened there. There was just, it was an error on my computer saying that Facebook said that there was like an out of memory or something. I don't know. Anyways, I don't know what happened. Okay. All right. Tanya's back. Shannon's back. Hopefully Sandra's also back. Okay, so I've got my flower. I already fussy cut like a couple of other images. So there's one here, and you can reuse the same post-it, like the same masking paper over and over. Like I've already used this for the 2 cards already, and I'm gonna reuse it for this one. And then the only reason you might not be able to use it again is when it gets really wet, like with all the stamping on top of it, like my original one tore when I pulled it off. So that's when I have to replace it. But you can reuse it over and over again to make a few cards. You don't have to just throw it out after the first time. Okay, so... Oh, good. Okay, so Tanya's telling me Illinois gets 20 below. Oh, you know what? And yours is, you guys talk in terms of Fahrenheit, and I have no clue if like 20 below is Celsius or Fahrenheit and how that compares. I just don't have the conversion in my head. I'm sorry, but it sounds like it gets cold. We're further north, so I would guess that we would be colder in general. I'm not sure. But yeah, winter is not my favorite time. I don't enjoy digging out the car. I don't enjoy, you know, trying to like get the ice off of my car and my windshield, because I'm short, and like trying to reach across to get the full windshield cleared off is difficult. I'd need a stool. Oh, okay, Tanya said mine is 28. Okay, that's colder. Holy crap. That's way colder. Okay, so if you look at my cards, so this is the topmost image here. So I'm going to stamp this one first, okay? So I'm going to show you blending as well. Okay, so I'm going to place that approximately there. Okay, is that where I had it last time? I'm sure it's like approximate. All right, so when I blended this, I did the lightest color first, okay? So I'm going to take Coastal Cabana. Okay. I'm going to take my blending brush. Oh, yes, Sandra, you are probably have it worse than me. I have an SUV, but the pickup truck is probably higher. Yeah. That's when you call your husband, perhaps, if they're willing. Okay, so getting Coastal Cabana on my blending brush. Okay, and I'm just going to rub it on. And this one's so light, like I can't even tell that my stamp has ink on it, but it's there. I might do it a couple of times. Okay. Okay, so that's pretty light. I'm going to do it again so I can get a little bit more color showing. Okay. Here we go. All right, that's nice. All right, so I'm going to clean it off, and I'm going to put on the second layer now. So the second layer, I didn't do the center because I want to keep the center of it lighter so that I can get the feeling of like a depth in the flower. Okay, so I'm going to take Bermuda Bay was my second color. Let me close this one up. Okay, so I'm going to ink this up. Oh, if I had a double garage, I would park it, both my cars in there too, but we only have a single, so it's always a toss-up who gets it, but usually it's my car in the garage, so it's kind of nice, but there are times when, you know, you're parked outside and you have to do it. Okay, so the Bermuda Bay I'm going to put on the outside. I want to leave the inside of the flower the lighter color, so I'm just going to gently brush on in circles around the edges of the flower, just the leaves, the petals, sorry. Okay, and Bermuda Bay is quite bright, but the blending brush puts it on in a lighter layer. Okay, so let me try this. Let's see how that works out. Okay, so it looks like it's all one shade now, but I didn't do the center. So I'm going to do the Bermuda Bay again. Again, sticking to just the outside petals. And I'm doing circular motions. I'm trying to avoid getting like a line, like an obvious demarcation between like the different shades of blue, because I don't want it to be obvious. I want it to blend in. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to do one more time because I feel like the center, you can't really tell that it's like a different color, even though I haven't. Put any Bermuda Bay in there. Okay, let's do that one last time, and then I'm going to go with the last color. Okay, so I think you can tell the center is lighter. Okay, and now I'm going to go with a Pacific Point for my last colors, just on the edges, the petals of the petals, and I'm going to use a sponge dauber because I have a bit more control because it's smaller, because I just want to do the edges. Okay, so I'm just going to brush it. I just found that it looked better if I didn't try to press it on. I'm trying to just brush it on the very edges of my petals. Because the Pacific Point is quite dark, comparatively. Okay, I think that's good. So you can see I just did the edges there. I'm going to put a little bit more here. And then let's see how that looks. Oh, a car starter. Yes, we do have a car starter. That is something I love having. Oh, look how that turned out. I think that's really good. I like that. Okay, so I'm not going to do that one again. It's quite dark. I don't think I need to put in any extra dark blue. So I'm going to clean off my stamp and get the next one ready. So this one I think I'll have to do a better job cleaning it afterwards. I'll have to put it onto a block and use the stamp cleaner. Okay, so I put that aside. All right, so okay, so the next layer, let's see. I think I will do, okay, so first thing actually, I should cover it up. Okay, so I'm going to take this flower that I fussy cut out of the masking paper. I try to get the backing off. And I'm going to cover it up so that I don't stamp on top of it, so that it will be in the front of my bouquet. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's match this up. Okay. Whoops. I'm just going to pull it over very slightly because I can see it's peeking out on the top edge. If you know me, I am a little bit OCD about lining things up and getting things straight, so it drives me crazy if it's not lined up. But that's just me. Okay, so let me just see. I'm just looking for my other card. Let's see, I have this one too. And I liked it because I think this one I didn't get the layering in the leaves quite as well. So I think I'm trying to decide if I want it in front or in back. I think I'm going to put a leaf that's slightly in front. So I'm going to do a leaf first. So I'm going to get my leaf stamp. Okay. And I want it to be right here. Okay. Whoops. All right. I think that's where it's going to go. Okay. So I'm not going to bother blending on this. I just used a regular ink without the blending. And this one, I know this pad is really juicy. So if you've never dealt with a really juicy pad before, because an extra juicy pad will give you kind of like ink blots on your image. Yes, Sandra's asking if there's an online color wheel. Would they have a, what do they call it? It's a color, let me just look. They have color combos, color coach charts. So I know that Stampin' Up has some, and I think like other Stampin' Up demonstrators have posted their own, but you can look for color coaches where they tell you, like they suggest different combinations, but you can also just look at other cards. I mean, I get a lot of inspiration from looking at Instagram pictures and posts in the demonstrator group, and I just go from there. This combination, I can't remember where I got this combination from, but I think this one, I actually experimented on my own and I figured out which color combination I wanted. Okay, so anyways, if you have a really juicy ink pad and you end up with like images that look kind of like they have blops on them, you can just take, like this is an old credit card, you just need a straight edge and you just push all the ink to one side and that will take care of that problem. So now after I push the ink to one side, I will ink up my image and hopefully you won't see any of that, the spots from excess ink. Okay, so I'm going to press hard because I want to get, see there's like an edge there. I have to press a little harder to get the ink to go in, down in there and right around the edges. So that's good. All right. Okay, I'm just going to clean this off because I have to move it because I want to get the edge, the flower, sorry, the leaf. See this leaf? I put an extra one there. So I'm just going to turn my leaf stamp so that I can do that. So this is pretty well covered. Like I don't think that it will show up here on this side, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a scrap piece of paper and cover it up just to be sure. So that's where I want it to go, and I have to cover up my leaves. So let me just put that there, and I need to cover up these leaves so I don't stamp on top of them. So here's my masking paper that I've already cut out from yesterday, the day before, and it's going to cover up these leaves. so that I can get a clear image of the third leaf. And I'm just going to grab a scrap piece of paper. Oh, here. Okay, here's a scrap piece of paper. I'm just going to cover this up just to be sure. I don't want to accidentally overstamp onto the card. Okay. I don't know, Sandra. She's asking if you can use blends markers to color in the edges. Possibly, if you, I don't know. I don't know if you would get the right shade though, right? Because like the ink from here may or may not, like you might, depending on how hard you press, how many times you do it, you may end up with a slightly different shade, but I don't know. It could work. You could try it and let me know. Okay, so I really only need that one. But usually I end up like inking the whole thing because it's hard to just ink one side. Okay, I can see darker shading in some areas of my stamp, and that's why I'm doing it a few times so that I can try and even it out. All right, so here we go. All right. So that actually turned out darker, I think, but that's okay. Different shading for leaves. All right, so I protected that. All right, so I am going to, let's see what I'm going to do next. I think I'm going to do my big flower next. Okay, so let me clean this off. Oh, Shannon, you ordered a bunch more blends markers. Yes, I'm building up my collection. I'm quite happy with them. It's so much fun coloring with them. Okay, let's move this out of the way. We're going to get the big flower, and we'll do some more blending. Okay, so let's move that. This is the big flower. Okay, so my big flower I'm going to put right. Okay, I'm going to leave my masking here. Okay, so that they're protecting the images underneath. Okay, and I'm going to have my flower just kind of tucked slightly behind them. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm going to use the same color palette. So we'll start off with the Coastal Cabana again. Okay. This time I think I'm going to leave it, I'm only going to do one stamp with it because I think it might show up the difference in the gradient in the colors will show up better. So it just seems so light when I do it the first time and not quite enough impact, but I think it'll actually, less is more maybe in this case. Just making sure that this section is covered. Even I can't really tell. It's really hard to tell if it's like got ink there or not. So light. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to press a little harder so I can get those edges covered. Let's see. That's much better. I'm going to try a little bit more here on this edge. So you can see a little bit of a white. I think that's probably as good as I'm going to get for that one. Okay, so that's Coastal Cabana. Yeah, it's hard to decide. I have a lot of greens. And it depends. Like, I guess it depends on what you're coloring. You got to look at like what images you're going to color and decide what you need for those, right? So, all right. So now I'm going to add in the Bermuda Bay. So again, I'm going to stick to the outer petals of the flower. Okay, so here, because this flower is kind of facing upward, it's angled away, but I'm still gonna aim to put it on like just the outsides. There we go. All right, let's see how that looks. pretty good. I think I'm going to add just a bit more Bermuda Bay, and yeah, exactly, Sandra. That's what I was doing too. When I got like the sheep from the Counting Sheep Celebration freebie, I got grays and pinks and stuff to go with, you know, what I had to color. And I just kept adding from there, you know, if I wanted to do flowers and I saw a color combination that I liked, I just, you know, chose those ones to order next. Okay. Here we go. Second layer of Bermuda Bay. Pretty good. I'm just going to try and get that white edge. Get rid of the white edge there, hopefully. It's a little bit higher because the leaves are sitting on top of my flower there, so that's raising it up even more. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so now I'm just going to put the Pacific Point on the edges. So again, I'm just going to brush it on gently because I don't want to have a hard edge or an outline of the sponge dauber. I'm just following the edges of the petals. Okay. I think that's good. All right, let's try that. Okay, that looks good. I think I'm going to add a little bit more shading down here because this is the bottom side of the petal, so try not to. Perhaps, oh, you know what I think I did? I might have added more Bermuda Bay along that instead. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. You know that? I'm going to add a little bit more of the Pacific Point, and then I might add the Bermuda Bay again. Yeah, because this is kind of hidden. Yeah, I think I'm going to add more Bermuda Bay. Let's see how that goes. I really like how the blending brushes kind of put it on in a very light layer. You don't get like so much ink, and then you get so much depth out of it. Okay, so a little bit more Bermuda Bay along the bottom to give it a little bit more shading here. So let's try that. Okay, let's try that. Yeah, I think that's probably better. Try that again, and then maybe a little bit of Pacific Point. Yeah, I think that's turning out well. Let's try that one last time. I'm going to put a little bit more on the top too. Takes some experimentation. Sometimes it doesn't work out. I've got some flowers that I did with another set that turned out, like, the combination just turned out terrible. And sometimes you just have to practice. Okay, so I pressed a little bit harder. I can see that I got a line here, but you know what? I'm hoping those will just be covered up by the leaves and we won't notice them as much. So let me clean this off. Okay, we'll go back to adding leaves. Okay, where's my leaves? Okay, so yeah, I need to mask this so that it doesn't get covered up. I'm going to put my masking paper on top. Okay. All right, so again, I'm going to add 3 leaves. I think I want to cover theirs a bit. Oh, again, something went wrong. I'm getting an error on my web page again. It says out of memory, but I'm going to refresh, and hopefully everybody's going to stick with me. Okay, tell me if you're still there. I think you guys are still there. I think it was just for some reason that the Facebook page went wonky. I'm not sure why. Say hi if you guys are still there. Let me know I'm not by myself. Okay, great, Sandra, Shannon, great. All right, so I'm just positioning my leaves. Okay. Oh, huh, I've done this before too. Yeah, they're upside down. Hello. Okay, good. All right, my sticky, my masking is losing its stickiness, but that's okay. It'll be fine. All right, back to the green. Let me just grab the green. I'm gonna do that trick with the ink. I'm gonna move it over to one side again, just to be sure. Okay. Yeah, I put the dies in upside down in the machine too, and I really hate doing that. It comes out and nothing is cut, and you cut into the top cutting plate instead of the bottom. Okay. Oh, that turned out well. Okay. And I'm going to turn it so that I can put another layer, another third one there. Now let me see, did I know I cut a second set of leaves, so I could cover that as well. Okay, let me look for that in a second. I'll just cut this, sorry, clean this off, move it. Ah, oh my gosh, Shannon, you actually put it with the paper underneath it? Oh my gosh, that's a pre-coffee moment, I think. That's pretty funny. Okay, I can see my leaf is gonna go off here, so let me just see. Oh, where did my masking leaf go? What did I do with it? See, this is half of a crafter's battle, is finding stuff that you know you have somewhere and they've disappeared. I know I cut out a second set of leaves so that I could mask both of them. And for sure, if I don't find it now, I'm going to find it, you know, afterwards, like really easily. Okay, I don't know where my second set of leaves went. Let's see. Because otherwise I'm going to end up stamping on top of that. Let me just see. Did I hide it underneath here by accident? I don't think so. All right. Looking for my second set of leaves. Okay, this is a challenge. I do not know what I did with my other leaves. And I know I cut them out. Where did they go? Oh, you lost a hat. Yeah, you had all the accessories. Those are tiny too. Yep. Where is that leaf? Let me put this away. Maybe it'll pop up once I put some stuff away. I have no idea where it's gone to. Okay, since I am not stamping over here, I'm going to take my other leaf and I'm going to move it. So I have to be careful because it's a bit wet from being stamped on. So I don't want it to tear while I'm moving it. Okay, so let's keep that covered up. And I'll move this one over here. Okay. All right. We have a solution. Okay, so I just want to put one more leaf out here. Okay. All right. We can continue. Let's go. Okay, last leaf. Okay. That turned out well. Okay, now I can see it's peeked through there, so I'm gonna have to press there just to finish the image so it doesn't hopefully look too funny. Okay, good. I think that's good. All right, so now I have, I'll clean that off. I have the two flowers that come out the top and the bottom. That's the last part to do. So Tanya, I know you're joining me for the first time, and I'm a slow crafter, if you haven't noticed. I am usually the slowest one in my group, and when we do like group crafting sessions, I am the slowest one. And I have a hard time multitasking, like talking to people and chatting and crafting. So Sandra can tell you, like, you know, we used to craft together in person, scrapbooking. We used to scrapbook ages ago, and I would be the one who would get the least done because I just can't talk and craft at the same time. Okay, so I'm getting the flowers out. All right, so my flowers are gonna go here. I'm just gonna peek out over the top. Okay, so I don't want it to peek out here. I can see that it's gonna go off to the side here, and I kind of don't want to because it's almost like there's not enough of it showing. It's just gonna look weird, I think. So I'm gonna cover that up with my scrap paper again. I'm just gonna cover up that one side because I don't want it peeking out there. And let's put the magnet down so it doesn't move. Oh, and I'm going to make sure that it doesn't accidentally... I just realized that it might stamp in here, so I'm going to move my scrap paper to cover that as well. Okay, so let's see. I think that's good. All right. I don't even have the layout, Sandra. I have the trouble with like trying to think of layout and stuff. I have to do that in like peace and quiet, which is hard for me. I mean, when you have like kids in the house and they're running around, I cannot think. Okay, again, I have this problem. I can tell by the ink here that I'm getting like lots of ink. So this is a very juicy pad. I'm gonna clean it off, and I'm gonna use that straight edge to clear the ink again to one side, so that I don't end up with that blotting problem. I don't know what to call it. It's like you don't get a nice even image, so I just clear that off before I do it. All right, here we go. That's better. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but there's no blotting now. It's just flat. Okay. Oh, see, that turned out so much nicer. Just gonna get that one corner here. Try to get the image to stamp around the edge of the flower. I think that's probably good. All right. And then I'm gonna do the same on the bottom. Okay, so let's see how this goes. So yeah, I'm the slowest crafter, and I try to keep my Facebook Lives to 1 hour. I try not to make something too hard, because otherwise everybody will be sitting here for a long time. Because I really take my time on doing stuff. So I'm going to cover this up. I don't have another leaf, so I'm just going to try to cover it up there. I think that'll be fine. Okay. Like this. Oops. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Shannon, you're just faster. I don't know. I have another friend, Shalee, who's like the absolute fastest. She gets done stuff like so fast. Okay. Here we go. Good. Okay, I'm just going to press that in a little bit more. I don't think I can get that tiny bit in here. I think that's probably as good as it's going to get. Hold on. I don't think I was pressing in the right spot. Okay. Well, I think that's probably as good as it's going to get. All right. So I think the last thing I need to stamp is the sentiment, which is up top. So I'm going to move my magnets and I'll clear this off. The sentiment here, which is the perfect size for that little corner. Okay, so let me just check. Okay, so what I like to do, so I like to use the grid line on my Stamparatus to make sure that this is straight, because I know that I've aligned this pretty much straight, although this is shifted a little bit. And I'll use the lines on the Stamparatus to tell me if my letters are straight, because again, I am a stickler. I get bugged when it's not straight because I can't unsee it. So let me just check. So I can tell this is kind of on an upward angle, so I'm just going to peel it off slightly and then adjust the angle on it so that I hopefully will have it straight. Okay. And get the black. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my scrap paper and just stamp it on here and just double check. Does that look straight? Yeah. Although I think it's maybe a little too close to the left side. So I'm going to move that. Okay. Okay. Let me just check this straight. All right, so there, I think it looks probably good. One more check with the scrap. I hate to, you know when you go to stamp the very last thing and it's not right, and that you spent all this time making the main part of the card only to screw up the last little bit. That would drive me nuts. I don't know, I think it's too close. That is too close to the side. I have to move it. Hopefully this is the last time I have to move it. I'm having, it's just a little bit hard to see the clear. Okay, I'm just gonna go with it. Okay, not bad. I'm just thinking about whether or not I want to do it twice. It's very small, so I don't think I need to do it again. I think I'll just leave that black as it is. All right, so this is kind of like the fun part where you take off all the masking and you see your final image. It's really satisfying. Okay, so let's take all these off. Okay. Oh, see, this one's ripping a little bit. It's okay, I might still be able to reuse it. And then this one. Here we go. This one's a bit trickier because if I pull just on one leaf, it's gonna rip for sure. So if I want to reuse it again, then there we go. Gorgeous. I think that turned out pretty well. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to put on here are just some embellishments. So I chose to use the polished dots. I used to use the clear ones. And maybe a ribbon. So guys, ladies, do you think the ribbon should go here? Should I put like a bow? I don't know. I don't think a bow fits here. I don't know. I'm not sure. You tell me. What do you think about the ribbon? Put it on, don't put it on, do the same thing, put a bow. What do you think? Tell me, please. Okay. Just gonna put this on. Actually, I think I might put it over here this time. No opinions where the bow should go, where the black and white. I really like the black and white contrast with the colors. Oops. I'm going to put this one here and then put one more up the top, maybe here. Okay. You like the ribbon? Oh, Sandra likes it without the ribbon. I have one vote for ribbon, one without the ribbon. Tanya, I think you'll be the deciding vote if you're still there. Okay. Let me move these out of the way, and we'll finish off the card. Yeah, I'm not sure if I want it with the ribbon or without. I do like the ribbon. I like the contrast, but yeah, I don't know today. I feel like I could use it to maybe hide that, but then it'd be too far up, I think. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to put the ribbon on. Tanya says with the ribbon. Okay, we're going with the ribbon. Yeah, Sandra, I get you. Sometimes I feel lazy too. I'm like, oh, I don't want to bother. I'm wondering if I can just put it up there, but I feel like that's too high. Okay, anyways, I'll measure it out. We'll wrap it all the way around. I sometimes, like, if I feel like being conservative with my ribbon, that I cut it so that I can just wrap the edges around, but it makes it more difficult. And like sorry, you can understand, I'm gonna cut it so that it would just wrap around the edge and I just adhere it on the back. But today, just so that it's easier, I'm gonna wrap it around, physically wrap it around and tie it. So let's cut about this much. Okay, so before I put it on top of my card, I'm going to put the ribbon on. Okay. For those of you who have trouble with holding the ribbon down at the same time, if you have like those reverse tweezers, that they can hold your knot in place while you tie. Okay, so I think that's about right, and then I'll trim it to length now. So I'm going to cut it just here and over here. All right, and I'll use dimensionals to pop it up. So okay, I'm going to put one more down the middle, down here. I'll take all the backings off. stick it in the middle. And there's the card. That's it for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and that you learned about masking, and you'll start using your masking sheets and try it out. You can get this layering effect. But you know, if you do like the ones where it's actually physically layered, like this one, you know, you could just fussy cut, and that's no problem. You can just fussy cut what you need and add some layers that way. Easy to do, but the masking technique is also really fun too. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you Tanya, Shannon, and Sandra for joining in live. Anybody who's watching afterwards, you know, I'd love it if you could drop me a line and say hi and let me know if you're enjoying the videos. Have a great day, everybody, and I will see you guys next week. All right, bye.